Dark room. Alarm clock rings at 5:30 a.m. You wake up, look tired but determined. Quick flashes of your old life. Unpaid bills, empty wallet, phone buzzing with debt messages, close-up of your face in the mirror. Serious, reflective. Cut 2. You sitting with a journal and cup of coffee, beginning your day. Voiceover script. There was a time in my life when I was completely stuck. I wasn't broke just financially. I was broke mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Every day felt the same. Wake up tired, hit snooze, rush through the day, and still feel like I achieved nothing. I had big dreams, but every time I looked at my bank account, I felt like I was living a nightmare. There was a moment, one specific morning, that changed everything. It was 5:30 a.m. The alarm rang. My room was dark, cold, and quiet. I looked around and realized I was completely alone, with my excuses. No one was coming to save me. No one owed me anything. If I wanted to become successful, if I wanted to become a millionaire, I had to change myself first. That morning, I didn't hit snooze. I sat up, got out of bed, and made a decision that would change my life forever. I told myself, this is day 1, not one day. And from that day on, I built a new version of myself, habit by habit, action by action. I didn't have special connections. I didn't have money. What I had was drive, and I turned that drive into discipline. And guess what? That's all it really takes. In this video, I'm going to share the 3 daily habits that took me from struggling and surviving to thriving and becoming a millionaire. These are not hacks. These are not overnight tricks. These are the real habits that I practiced every single day, even when no one was watching. Because that's when it really counts, when no one's watching. So, if you're serious about changing your life, stick with me till the end. This is where it all begins. Close-up of a digital calendar filling up. Time-lapse of your day. Waking early, planning, working in blocks, avoiding distractions. Phone placed. Face down, notifications off. You crossing off tasks on a to-do list. Focused expressions while working. Voiceover script. The first habit that truly changed my life was mastering my time. Look, we all have 24 hours, but most people treat their time like it's unlimited. They scroll for hours, binge-watch shows, and say they're too busy for their goals. That used to be me too, but everything changed when I started treating my time like it was money. Because it is. I became absolutely ruthless about how I spent each hour. I started planning my day the night before. I gave every task a time block. I didn't wait to feel motivated. I just showed up, did the work, and stuck to my schedule. No more multitasking. No more distractions. My phone stayed on silent. Social media? Logged out. Friends who didn't respect my time? I distanced myself. It was hard at first. I felt guilty for saying no. But soon I realized every yes to a distraction was a no to my future. And when I began using my time with purpose, I became unstoppable. I created time for learning, time for building, and even time for rest. I didn't work more. I worked smarter. Success isn't about doing 100 things. It's about doing a few things with laser focus. Time is the only resource you can't get back. If you don't control it, it will control you. This habit of ruthless time management was the foundation. It helped me build momentum, develop consistency, and eventually, build wealth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. Start today. Track your time. Own your day. Because millionaires don't have more time than you. They just use it differently. You reading a book early in the morning or before bed. Listening to audiobooks while jogging or driving. Watching a motivational podcast or taking notes from an online course. shelf with books labeled Mindset, Finance, Our Marketing, etc. You writing in a journal titled What I Learned Today, voiceover script. The second habit that made me a millionaire was simple, but powerful. I made learning a daily priority. I realized that my income would never grow until I grew. So I made a promise to myself. Every single day, no matter how busy I was, I would learn something new. At first, I started with 10 pages a day. Just 10 pages of a book on business, mindset, or money. Some days it felt pointless. But then, something clicked. The more I learned, the more I saw the world differently. I started understanding how successful people think, how businesses are built, how money works. I replaced Netflix with audiobooks. I listened to podcasts while driving. I watched interviews with self-made millionaires instead of aimless scrolling. Learning became a lifestyle, and it started to show in how I spoke, how I made decisions, and how I saw opportunities. This one habit changed my mindset from I can't to how can I? And let me tell you this, the right book at the right time is more powerful than a college degree. I didn't go to business school. I built my education from mentors, books, online courses, and experiences, and it made all the difference. Here's the truth. Most people stop learning after school. But the most successful people are always learning, every single day. So, if you want to grow your income, grow your mind first. Read, listen, ask questions, take notes, learn like your life depends on it, because it does. Daily learning sharpened my thinking, opened new doors, and gave me the confidence to take risks. It turned me from a dreamer into a doer, and if you make it a habit, it can do the same for you. You at a desk working on your laptop, building a business, replying to emails, or planning. Scenes of you making phone calls, sending proposals, or networking. Progress over perfection. Quote written on a whiteboard or notebook. Calendar with check marks on each day, showing consistency. Voiceover script. The third habit that made me a millionaire was this: taking action every single day. Not just when I felt motivated, not just when it was easy, but every day, no matter what. Most people are stuck because they're always waiting for the perfect time, waiting until they feel ready, waiting until everything is just right. But here's the truth. There is no perfect time. You will never feel 100% ready. And clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. So I made it non-negotiable. I had to take at least one step toward my goal every day. Some days that meant writing emails. Other days it meant launching a product, learning a new skill, or simply showing up and not quitting. Was it uncomfortable? Absolutely. Was I scared sometimes? Of course. But I did it anyway. You see, small actions repeated consistently become unstoppable momentum. And momentum is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's not about huge leaps. It's about daily discipline. There were days I failed. Days I felt like nothing was working. But I kept going. Because every action, even the small ones, was building something bigger. Taking action taught me more than any book ever could. It gave me real experience, real results, and real confidence. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start, move, build, test, adjust, repeat. Action beats intention. Consistency beats intensity. That's the real secret. So if you're serious about becoming successful, show up every day, even when you're tired, even when you're uncertain, because the results don't come from what you say you'll do. They come from what you actually do. Split screen. On the left, your old life, messy desk, unpaid bills, frustration. On the right, your new life, clean office, successful business, peace, and confidence. Flashbacks of you practicing all three habits: time management, daily learning, and consistent action. You standing confidently in front of your office, walking calmly in a peaceful setting, or helping others. A slow zoom in on your face, calm, fulfilled, grateful. Voiceover script. This is where I started. Broke, lost, overwhelmed. I had no roadmap, no fancy degree, no wealthy family, just a burning desire to change my life. And now, I wake up every day with freedom. I built my own income. I control my time. I have peace of mind. But let me be honest. With you, this didn't happen overnight. There was no secret hack, no lucky break. It was 3 simple habits, practiced daily, repeated until they became part of who I am. Habit 1. I mastered my time. I stopped wasting hours and started owning my schedule. Every day had purpose. Habit 2. I committed to learning. I fed my mind with wisdom, not noise. I grew every single day. Habit 3. I took action, even when I didn't feel like it. I moved forward through fear, through failure, through doubt. And the result? Total transformation. Not just in my income, but in my mindset, my relationships, and my entire life. You see, success isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's available to anyone who's willing to build the habits that create it. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes? It starts with a decision, a choice to stop living on autopilot and start living on purpose. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to act in spite of fear. If I can do it, from rock bottom, you can too. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is what you do daily. So let today be your day 1, not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. Because the life you want, the freedom you dream of, is waiting on the other side of the habits you choose today. Your millionaire life doesn't begin with money. It begins with discipline, learning, and action. And that journey? It starts right now. Let's build it one habit at a time.